As days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. Pioneers across the globe and also critics and the likes are all waiting to know if and when the Pi network will ever come to reality. As many people are saying, dribbling is becoming excessive. But at this point, the months have turned into years. Years of continuous clicking and believing on the Pi network project. Years of inviting others to join in the race to financial freedom, as many perceives it to be. Would dreams come true? Will the Pi network ever launch and make many millionaires? Are we going to ever get the chance to trade the Pi network coin for other cryptocurrencies without it being an IOU? Or are we going through another year of promises and several hackathon contests? Will pioneers ever use the existing platforms that claim to provide services and accept Pi as payment? If you are interested in knowing your status with the Pi network coin, stay tuned as I take you through this simple walkthrough. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Share and give a thumbs up. Oh, this is the point where I say sit and relax to enjoy this video. Welcome back to my channel. This video will be different. I would like to play the devil's advocate and look at issues that affects pioneers from a different standpoint. Before you crucify me, I am not changing the narrative, but instead, I want to throw light to what many of us have refused to acknowledge and discuss. And the reason is simple. We are all interested in knowing when we can offload our coins for fiat currency. Before I into sharing with you when I believe the Pi network might likely launch its mainnet, I want to address these issues as they are as important as the mainnet. Without completion of these steps, pioneers might not see the launch of the Pi network coin anytime soon. Please don't hate the messenger, just listen and get the message. According to the white paper of the Pi network, it clearly states that if these steps are not confirmed, the mainnet launch will not happen. And what are these steps, you may ask? I will address them in no particular order. Let's talk about the roadmap. The roadmap was broken down into 3 phases. Phase 1 talks about design, distribution, trust, graph bootstrap, and I quote, "The Pi server is operating as a faucet, emulating the behavior of the decentralized system, as it will function once it's live." During this phase, improvements in the user experience and behavior are possible and relatively easy to make compared to the stable phase of the mainnet. All minting of coins to users will be migrated to the LiveNet once it launches. In other words, the LiveNet will pre-mint in its Genesis block all account holder balances generated during Phase 1 and continue operating just like the current system, but fully decentralized. Pi is not listed on exchanges during this phase, and it is impossible to buy Pi with any other currency. As you all are aware, the phase has come and gone. Now we move to Phase 2, which is the testnet. Once again, I quote from the white paper, "Before we launch the mainnet, the node software will be deployed on a testnet. The testnet will use the same exact trust graph as the mainnet, but on a testing Pi coin. Pi core team will host several nodes on the testnet, but will encourage more pioneers to start their own nodes on the testnet. In fact, in order for any node to join the mainnet, they are advised to begin on the testnet. The testnet will be run in parallel to the Pi emulator in Phase 1, and periodically, for example daily, the results from both systems will be compared to catch the gaps and misses of the testnet, which will allow Pi developers to propose and implement fixes. After a thorough concurrent run of both systems, testnet will reach a state where its results consistently match the emulators. At that time, when the community feels it's ready, Pi will migrate to the next phase. I am sure most of us remember the period when we were all transferring test Pi to one another. Well, that's testnet. The next phase is the most important one and should be taken seriously. This phase actually tells when exactly the mainnet will launch, but my guess is we didn't read it through. I quote, "When the community feels the software is ready for production and it has been thoroughly tested on the testnet, the official mainnet of the Pi network will be launched." An important detail is that, in the transition into the mainnet, only accounts validated to belong to distinct real individuals will be honored. After this point, the faucet and Pi network emulator of Phase 1 will be shut down and the system will continue on its own forever. Future updates to the protocol will be contributed by the Pi developer community and Pi's core team and will be proposed by the committee. Their implementation and deployment will depend on nodes updating the mining software just like any other blockchains. No central authority will be controlling the currency, and it will be fully decentralized. Balances of fake users or duplicate users will be discarded. This is the phase when Pi can be connected to exchanges and be exchanged for other currencies. I know you are all listening hard, but I also think we missed the important factors in this phase that will determine the launch date. I will list them for clarity. 1. When the community feels the software is ready for production, I will ask, and I am sure you will be asking this same question as well. How do we determine the community feels the software is ready for production? Going by what pioneers are doing about the PI network around the world, it already feels like the software is ready, or is it? 2. It has been thoroughly tested on the testnet. The official mainnet of the Pi network will be launched. Once again, how do we tell it has been thoroughly tested? I still see the testnet option from the Pi wallet, and people are still consistently using the testnet option. Does this mean it has not been thoroughly tested? And the core team has not made any pronouncements regarding if it has or has not been thoroughly tested. Now note that 3 is very important. Check it out yourself, it's in the white paper. Number 3 says, in the transition into the mainnet, only accounts validated to belong to distinct real individuals will be honored. In case you are wondering, let me break it down for you. This part is solely talking about KYC. KYC will help to validate those accounts and also eliminate double accounts from same individual, which sounds really nice and should be the way forward. But my snag to this is simple. We all know what pioneers are facing concerning the KYC process. To be honest, I don't believe the process is rocket science. If you can build a blockchain and have more than 40 million people around the globe connect to it, and you also built an app that is used for mining and a browser that is housing other projects linked to the network, I see no reason why building a sustainable and effective app to carry out KYC without having to spool invitations to pioneers would be a problem. Are you following? Initially, KYC process started with a company called Yoti. Then it was stopped because according to the core team, it was expensive to engage them. Hence, KYC app was built and added to the PI browser. But pioneers are yet to get the full advantage of the program. So by now you should know that if these 3 steps are not met to satisfaction, I am afraid, there will be no launching of the Pi mainnet anytime soon. Mind you, this is my own opinion drawn from the Pi network white paper, written in black and white, as the name implies. Please do your own research. So therefore, I am not in the same corridor as some people who keep saying the launch is soon, unless there is a pronouncement and statement from the core team saying that these conditions have been met. But if I will go by the state of everyone, my prediction will be March 14th, 2023. Well, if you would like to know how I came about this date and other possible dates, then click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get alerted when I release the video explaining it. My name is Tony, and this is Basic Knowledge. Until my next video, keep mining.